Hi boys and girls, good afternoon. So today we're going to be working on lesson 120. Now touch the first word in part 1. Those words are corpus callosum. What words? Corpus callosum. Next word. What word? Greatest. Next word. What word? Basically. Next word. What word? Telephone. Next word. What word? Estimates. Next word. What word? Messages. Next word. What word? Electric. Next word. What word? Forehead. Next word. What word? Halves. Next word. What word? Dividing. Next word. What word? Current. Next word. What word? Hemispheres. Next word. What word? Tracing. Next word. What word? Lesion. Next word. What word? Tremor. Next word. What word? Melody. Next word. What word? Damaged. Next word. What word? Accurate. Next word. What word? Fibers. Next word. What word? Logical. Now let's go ahead and look at part 2. We're going to talk about what those words mean. Word number 1. What word? Composed. When something is composed of parts, it is made of parts. Everybody, what's another way of saying this group is made of 4 women? Get ready. This group is composed of 4 women. Touch word number 2. What word? Eliminate. You eliminate something when you get rid of it. Everybody, what's another way of saying they got rid of the stop sign? Get ready. They eliminated the stop sign. Touch word number 3. What word? Function. The purpose that something has its function. The function of a washing machine is to make washing clothes easier. The function of a car is to make it easier to get from place to place. Now let's go ahead and look at part 3. We're going to start with the story. Let's take a look at the title. Make sure we are following along as we are reading. Make sure you're listening to those questions. Now, the brain. The human brain is one of the greatest wonders in the universe. Basically, the brain is composed of nerve cells that are packed together. A nerve cell is like a wire. It has a long shaft that works like the wires that carry telephone messages or electric current. The best estimates hold that there are hundreds of millions of nerve cells in the brain. Some of these are less than an inch long, but many are more than 3 feet long. Let's listen to question number 1. What is the human brain composed of? The human brain is composed of nerve cells. The brain is composed of nerve cells that are packed together. Number 2. How many nerve cells are in the brain? The best estimates hold that there are hundreds of millions of nerve cells in the brain. So we have hundreds of millions of nerve cells in the brain. Let's continue reading. Follow along. If you were to draw a line from the tip of your nose between your eyes and up the middle of your forehead, you would be tracing the dividing line between the 2 halves of your brain. The fibers that join the 2 halves are called the corpus callosum, and the 2 halves are called hemispheres. Listen to question number 2. What are the 2 halves of the brain? So the 2 halves of the brain are called hemispheres. So like I said, the 2 halves are called hemispheres. Now, what is the corpus callosum? So the fibers that join the 2 halves are called the corpus callosum. Let's continue reading. Most theories state that each hemisphere has a different major function. A simple rule for describing what the 2 hemispheres do is this. The left hemisphere thinks and the right hemisphere feels. According to scientists, theories, this rule is not exactly accurate, but it does tell the major function of the hemispheres. Language is usually controlled by centers in the left hemispheres. If these are damaged, you could lose your ability to speak and even to understand what others are saying. When you try to reason logically, you are primarily using your left side of your brain. But when you experience feelings, you are using the right hemisphere of your brain. When you listen to the melody of a song, your right hemisphere is involved. When you see a face in the clouds, you're using the right hemisphere. When you feel strong emotion, your right hemisphere is involved. Let's listen to question number 3. What's the simple rule for describing what the two hemispheres of the brains do? So let's go back. And let's go ahead and highlight where we have our answer. So let's go ahead and see. Language is usually controlled by centers in the left hemisphere. So we know that the left hemisphere thinks and the right hemisphere feels. You experience feelings, you are using the right hemisphere of your brain. So the left hemisphere involves thinking and the right hemisphere involves feelings. Although scientists understand a great deal about the brain, there is much they don't know. For example, there is the puzzle of the second lesion. A lesion is a cut. Let's say that you have a lesion on the left side of your brain near the back. Your hands may shake so much that you can't control the cup without spilling the contents. In some cases, this tremor can be eliminated by making another lesion in the opposite hemisphere. In this case, the lesion would be made on the right side near the back. Why doesn't the second lesion make your conditions twice as bad? Why doesn't the second lesion always work? These are very good questions. They haven't been answered yet. Let's listen to question number 4. How can a tremor sometimes be eliminated? So a tremor can be sometimes eliminated by making another lesion on the opposite hemisphere of the brain. So like it says right here, in some cases, this tremor can be eliminated by making another lesion on the opposite hemisphere of your brain. So after we're done, boys and girls, make sure you answer the questions and submit a picture as soon as you are done. Have a great day and thank you for working hard.